MAINE, Jermaine, thank you so much for taking some time to chat. This is our second take right now. The first take didn't.
Yeah.
What I've been trying to do is have more conversations with people that I've been collaborating with in the past. We've known each other for so many years. You know, we've got connections through our businesses, through our artwork, our advocacy, family, all of that. So we've also did a collaboration recently that I'll use to kind of ground our conversation today. But it's just an open forum, and it's just great to kind of build legacy with people that we've been working with in the past, because you never know. I mean, 30 years just passes so quick. 40 years just passes so quick. And when we look back at moments like this, you know, we'll be glad that we took some time.
We're on the same vibe, and we're really aligned in the sense of legacy, right? Of like art, culture, and legacy. And that's some stuff like, you know, I got to shout out JV, your nephew, you know what I'm saying? And the reason why I call you Uncle CJ. And yeah, and it's funny because my vision has really been about, okay, what am I doing that's making a significant impact, whether it be small, it just needs to be significant, and try to capture those moments, even if they're raw, even if they're like uncut. And from time, even when I first hooked up with JV and we did a benefit concert in like 2013, and my idea was, I want to bring the arts and the mental health and the youth serving organizations, bring them together, as well as the human rights advocates, and like, how can we be more connected so we can actually serve the people we're trying to, right? And really now how I see it is I've really been able to blend hip hop and philanthropy, you know. So I'm an MC myself, and I've developed that, and we've put on shows. And hip hop is such a culture of each one teach one, of peace, love, unity, having fun. These principles that we live just in our culture, but also it's like a documentation of our story, and it's like a legacy, and there's like a history that you're part of. And I get to bring that into the philanthropic world that I do, whether it be in the mental health spheres or it be in cultural, like the indigenous and non-indigenous, doing different facilitations of like these different conversations we have to have. I feel grounded that I can use hip hop to better humanity and the planet and all those kind of things as a social entrepreneur. So that's kind of what I've been up to. I've done a lot of things over my time, but now I've kind of focused in on like, okay, I'm a great facilitator, I'm a good MC, and I like to coach people. I love to uplift people and promote freedom, love, and equity, and make impact and income. And that's like part of my legacy, you know, and promoting that. Yeah.
And I think it's really interesting too, how you take like an academic grounding and that understanding, and then you're also having a cultural based understanding, and you're also in tune with like energy and vibration and music, and how you bring all those pieces together. I think that would be really interesting, but I'm gonna get to some photography.
Let's do it. Yeah, for sure.
All right, so, okay, so we've got this picture up. What does it mean to you? How does it connect?
Loves your legacy. Loves my legacy. I remember, I'm not going to go back. We have another photo shoot that we did, and I did that similar pose of putting my L up, and that's what it is to me, is that loves the legacy.
When we were doing this shoot, did you have a particular project in mind? Like when you're doing this, and it was kind of spur of the moment, you called me up, you know, we just went to the studio and did it up. What was this going towards building?
Yeah, it really was towards my book. So my book, I Believe Dreams, a vision guide. And the tagline actually is, be the author of your own legacy. So to me, I was like, how can I express myself, tell my story through some photos, and it be a representation of where I'm at that very moment, because I was just turning 30 in a couple of months, and that's when I knew I was gonna put out my book. With JV passing, and really thinking like, yo, it's urgent. Like I really need to share my story now and leave my legacy now. It was like, so that was kind of like all those things that were going into the photo shoot. Like I need to do this, you know? Yeah. Oh, I like this. I like this filter on it. It's like,
yeah, it's the first time
I
you're
remember,
seeing
it. Yeah. So what were you thinking behind the scenes when you were taking that picture?
Behind the scenes, when I was looking at this shot, so we're using, I guess like a single light on your right side, and it's really got that, you know, everything popping, but I believe I was using a reflector as well, so that we don't lose things in too much shadow. But for me, it was because you have, you know, you're very in tune with deep thinking, reflective thinking consideration. So I wanted to capture that. So that's why we were kind of getting your direction, your gaze to look off, looking into the future. And I think you nailed it. And with that dramatic backlight, I think, you know, we definitely got some really interesting looks. And because the light is not facing the background got a little darker. So it adds a little bit more drama to the shot as well.
I feel
So
like my face is coming out a little bit more as I'm seeing the edit.
yeah.
Yeah.
If I go back to this one, this is more in line with what the original shot was. And we can
Yeah.
see the stark contrast. But when
Yeah.
I bring up some of the shadows, like reduce the shadows a little bit, also this one has a bit of like a faded kind of feel. The contrast has been reduced. And so, you know, that kind of gives us that feel, that classic feel. Yeah, so that one was really
Yeah.
fun to edit.
Vintage. I like that. And yeah, man. I like that. And that was like my it's funny because in that look and why I wore that cardigan and whatnot, it was like the professor look. It was I was
Mm,
going with that. So and I'm very pensive. So that was really cool how you brought that to life.
yeah, man, the collaborations are very organic, right? And what I like
That
as
was
well is
fun.
the laughter, right? And I always say like the candid moments are my favorite. And so bringing in that energy was great. Now I remember like during the photo shoot, I was using the light. So we saw what a light can do in terms of a studio setting. But there was a moment where I just turned the lights out and we're using the skylight that's in TO
Yeah,
Studio.
I
And
remember
that
that.
natural light was coming through. Those shots are pretty classic. We got a couple of those here as well.
I really
And
like that one. That one is like the joy. You know, sometimes people will comment on my smile, and I really think you brought it. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, what's your superpower? It's like my smile, and that's just like the yeah. That's cool because I don't always even share that part of me. Like a lot of people, I think from the outside can see me as a jovial kind of person at times, and I like that this captured that innocence, but a little mischievous in it.
yeah, I mean, there were so many shots, and you were giving a lot of flavor and a lot of character in a lot of them. I kind of just pulled out more of like the standard like portraits, but yeah, and everything there's personality and diversity, and you can see the difference when the background is changed,
Mhm.
right?
That was
Um,
cool that you experimented. You're adamant about that. You're like, oh, let's see. Oh, I like this. This is bossy.
yeah, man, because it's all about. I like giving the people I'm collaborating with like a lot of diversity, so they have things to
Mhm.
work with, right? And
In the
space,
background. Hmm.
right? Yeah, if they want to just show
Hey,
pieces of the personality.
so I use these for my book, and people actually, this very shot, actually, I'll say, um, is when I even gave my book to, it's like an ebook, and I gave it to some young people. Actually, I was in Thunder Bay, and it was this young indigenous girl, and I asked her, you know, what was your favorite part of the book? And she's like, oh, I loved your silly faces in the pictures, because I used that photo shoot, and I used most of the pictures. There's like 40 pages, and like 35 of them are the pictures that you used, yeah,
That's
for that
beautiful.
photo shoot. So
Oh man, that's an honor. Thank you. We got some classic shots from the work that we've done. And
hey,
again, the diversity.
woo, yeah, man. Yeah, I'm looking at myself like, ooh, yeah, because it's seeing the different parts. Like that was the cool thing is that because I was so comfortable with you and we have that relationship, that rapport, I felt so comfortable to just share the multiple sides of me, and I wanted to do that.
Thank you for that, man.
Jeez, yeah.
This is one of my favorites. And this was with just that
The
natural
natural
light.
light.
And then when you're talking about that joy, like this one here, just like the
Ah,
expressions.
yeah, I
Yeah.
use this one for promo for sure. People were into it. I use that for promo for sure. Yeah, man.
And like, you can't forget this one. What's going on here?
Ah, yep. It's in the book. Trust me, I used it. Yep.
Yeah, man. And then we also had some behind the scenes. And so, yeah, I think we did a great collaboration.
And
Um,
that one, the one on the bottom left, I used for the book cover,
yes,
just
remember
in
that.
black and white.
Yes, yes. I got another shot here. I'm thinking I can probably bring this into this window here.
That's a cool shot. Hey, yo, man.
Surprise me with this one.
Wow. Talk about legacy, man. I remember that was like I think the 4th year anniversary at District Oven. You can even see Proof Rock there. You see In Kedeku and
Yeah,
Trev. But JV is actually listing off all the artists that were involved and all the volunteers, everyone, and just giving thanks and freestyling. And just to be by his side in that moment was, man, that's legacy right there.
indeed, indeed. Yeah, man, the legacy continues. Um, I'm glad we were able to collaborate, and we have so many. So I hope we'll have more conversations. Thanks again for taking some time just to chat and to reminisce. Is there anything else that you
Yeah.
want? I'm gonna put up your website
Oh, let's
because
go.
it's actually incredible. You did such great work with that site, and it's also your Instagram, jermainehenry.ca. You got amazing content there. So if you want to share anything about what people should look out for, please do.
Um, just look up for jermainehenry.ca. Like I'm working on more projects as a coach and a facilitator, but what's cool is I'm building up a real strong community and network of really people that are trying to make some change, whether it be in their personal life or it be in relationships or whether it be in like the systems that we live in. And yeah, it's just a legacy work. It's going to take a long time, but it's nice that right now I'm like working with a lot of people from around the world. So to say that globally,
Mhm.
it feels a lot for people that may know my story of just like the grassroots that I've really been coming through, and just to be at this point where I'm able to bring some of the yeah, the different levels and bring them together all in one place with just like my platform is, yeah. So people come through and let's make some change together, and support each other, and yeah, have fun.
Great. Thank you so much, brother.
All right, appreciate you. All
All
right.
right.